There was more than simply a loud knock on my door. When I opened it, I saw the entire HOA board gathered on my doorstep as if they were going to issue a royal edict. Naturally, Karen was in the lead, signing everything with her sunglasses and sneer, which she most certainly didn't need. After our meeting, she started acting as though I cared, and we all agreed that your property would be ideal for my daughter's wedding. The area exudes visual appeal due to its rustic charm. Greetings from Prodigy Tales. Don't forget to subscribe and like your excellent HOA drama. She gave me a laminated Pinterest board with sunflowers, wine barrels, fairy lights, and a man with a chicken in his suspenders. I blinked at it and then I replied, "No," to her. Her smile flickered and I repeated, "Not intrigued. Not taking place." The board as a whole concurs, but Karen's face toppled like a Jenga tower in a toddler's playpen. It is focused on the community. We would tidy up and give you publicity, because publicity doesn't make enemies. Karen, I interrupted. I'll know I'm the HOA event center if I allow even one event to take place here. Baby showers, weddings, and HOA potlucks. Thank you, but no. My rules, my ranch. Behind her, the HOA crew moved uncomfortably, and one of them murmured, "Perhaps we ought to ask someone else." However, Karen whirled around as if she were trying out for a spot on Real Housewives of Suburbia. "No, this is the location. It's the special day of my daughter." She turned back to face me, her tone shifting to one of sweet threat. "You'll be sorry that I just grinned. Now, be careful." They left in a huff, with Karen stomping so forcefully that I thought she may break the concrete. I had the unsettling impression that the woman was going to make a disturbance as I closed the door, but I dismissed it. How could she have done this? It was my territory. She didn't scream or rant, and she didn't even send a follow-up passive-aggressive email. She became really quiet, which was unnerving, especially for someone like Karen. Normally, people would sigh, whine to a friend, or even try to buy you off with a bottle of wine and a gift basket. Karen went through what I can only call the phase of quiet wrath. She tried to warm me up with a freshly baked pie first, left it with a message that read, "I'm still hoping you'll give Kay another chance. It has a cinnamon and threat scent." I kept my hands off it. Next followed the visits from the neighbors. "Hey," said Karen, who lives 3 doors down from Tom, "claims that you're being a little out of character about the wedding, but she also claims that it's for the neighborhood." I gazed at him as if he had developed a third eye. When did the HOA start showing concern for the neighborhood? Last month, they discovered that I had a decorative gnome. Karen wasn't finished yet. A landscaping crew arrived at my ranch gate the following day. Just 3 men with trimmers and a clipboard. No invoice, no heads up. One person commented, "I laughed so hard I almost choked on my coffee." "We are here to decorate the venue for a particular occasion." "Yes, turn around." I informed them that squats would not be held here. I saw Karen using binoculars to observe from her porch. Her last effort occurred on a Wednesday night. She knocked again by herself, this time wearing a flowing pastel dress as though she had already been at the wedding, but she ducked as soon as I saw her, like a suburban raccoon trapped in a garbage can. "Listen, sweetheart," she continued. "I know you're hesitant, but it's only for one day. My daughter is devastated, to name just one. This might serve as a means of fostering unity. You know, healing." I stared her in the eye and said, "No means no." This discussion is over. I knew something was coming when Karen simply blinked, nodded once, and left without arguing or yelling. Karen never gave up that easily. I could see the storm building in the still air before the HOA-sized hurricane, but I had no idea how awful it would get. It was a Saturday. It was strange because I never left my ranch gate open and there were birds chirping and the sun was shining. I thought it may be a lost delivery man or another of Karen's dubious landscapers when I drove up the path. Instead, I experienced a full-blown wedding, and my vehicle skidded sideways as I applied the brakes so forcefully. The grassland was lined with white folding seats. There were fairy lights strung between trees that I had no idea were tall enough. A caterer was setting up shrimp cocktails like this was the freaking Ritz, and a DJ was set up beneath a gazebo that wasn't mine. I was enraged when I leaped out of the truck and went toward the scene after my land was hijacked. But before I could get 10 feet, two burly men wearing matching polo shirts stepped in front of me as if I were a wedding crasher. I apologize, sir. At a private function, someone stated. I blinked, this is my property. They didn't bat an eye. The HOA has a contract with us. Required security clearance. Security clearance. I chuckled more like a cackle with instability. Buddy, the land you are standing on is mine. No one is higher than me in terms of clearance. Something was radioed into a walkie-talkie by him. Then she was there. Karen wearing what appeared to be a prom dress paired with a chandelier in a floor-length gown. Karen walked out of the crowd as if it were a runway rather than my own front yard. Isn't it lovely? She yelled as if we were longtime companions. I saw red and told you it would be beautiful. You entered. This is trespassing. Are you insane? Karen shrugged, looking smug. We made an effort to be diplomatic, but sometimes you have to step in when the community demands something so strongly. There was clapping. The music began and I was in awe. A minister started talking. I clenched my fists, turned on my heel, and stomped back to the barn when a flower girl threw petals on my vegetable patch. I could get muddy very quickly if Karen wanted to play nasty. The fire hose remained attached. On the most extravagant day of her life, I pulled out the fire hose like a medieval weapon since I had legendary water pressure, and it was going to rain. I reached the edge of the barn, twisted the valve, and waited for the hiss to develop into full-blast fury. The guests were smiling, sipping champagne, and taking photos as if they weren't invading on my property. Every step back toward the wedding seemed like preparing for combat. Then, wielding the hose like a vindictive flamethrower, I turned the corner and let loose. The violins and sheet music flew. When the first spray hit the string quartet, the chist let out a cry. In the mud, a groomsman slipped. Just as the second blast struck her like liquid heavenly vengeance, Karen whirled around in fear. Her hair suddenly flattened, and mascara and eyeliner began to streak down her cheeks like regretful black rivers. Hey, Karen didn't know trespassing came with a free shower, I yelled above the commotion. Did you? What's the matter with you? Sputtering and drenched, she screamed. What's wrong with me? Why are you using a damn DJ booth to break into my property? I then struck the wedding arch, seeing it fall apart in slow time like a magnificent roll of paper towels striking a puddle. Slipping, screaming, and clutching their skirts and heels, the guests were fleeing for cover. To escape the explosion, several of them are jumping into bushes. A direct strike caused the shrimp cocktail table to burst like seafood confetti. Karen attempted to mobilize the HOA security personnel. Obtain him. They just stood there, astonished and soaked, but he's crazy. Ma'am, technically he's defending his property, one of them stated. Like someone slapping her with a damp glove, she gasped. All of you have been sacked. The bride looked like the lead in a Gothic opera, grieving while wearing a veil and letting her mascara melt down her face. The groom appeared to be reconsidering every decision he had made in life, and myself, I grinned as though I had just mowed the lawn fairly while holding a tall hose. When the police finally showed there, they didn't arrest me because, guess what? I had everything captured on surveillance cameras: trespassing, property damage, and illegal entry. For her efforts, Karen was publicly baptized in ranch hose water after marrying off her daughter on stolen land. The conclusion. To see more HOA showdowns like this one, please like and subscribe. Do you believe Karen received what she was due? Leave a comment below.